Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be going over the top 5 positions of need for the Washington Commanders heading into the 2023 NFL offseason. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 11,000 subscribers. Also hit that like button and that notification bell so you never miss a video. So the Washington Commanders definitely have a lot of needs going into the offseason, so we're going to get into those top 5. No really order, but we'll just get into 5 needs. And I'm not going to include quarterback, even though we're uncertain about it. It looks like Sam Howell will be the guy going into the 2023 season, and after 2023, we'll see if he's the guy or not, and if the Commanders will need to go after another guy. But if someone becomes available this offseason that they didn't think would be and is a franchise QB, then I would be open to trading for them for sure. But let's get into the top 5 needs. So 1 is tackle. Tackle is a need. Left tackle this year, Charles Leno, started off the season solid, but towards the end of it, really wasn't playing that well. And he was banged up, but it just wasn't good enough. And I'm fine running it back with Leno, but I do think they need another, just need to bring in someone else, because Cosme, I have no idea what's going on there. At the end of the year, I think he was healthy and he is still rotating in with Cornelius Lucas. So, they can move Cosme inside, and if they do that, they're going to need a tackle. And yeah, they just need to get someone, that could be a first rounder. Paris Johnson. There's some other guys as well that they could go after in the first round. And I think tackle is definitely a position of need. And if you draft a left tackle in the first round, and I would be definitely open to moving Leno to the right side. And if he's not, messing with that, if he doesn't want to be a right tackle, then I would cut him and move on. And if you cut him, you save, You save $8 million. So that's what I would do. If he's willing to play at right tackle and maybe, reduce his salary by a few million, I would be very happy with that move, and then move Cosme inside, and you really fix a lot of your issues. But I think tackle is definitely a big need for the Commanders. And then the next one, I could have gone guard and center, but I'm just going to go interior offensive line. They need to upgrade the interior offensive line. Center, they can run it back with Chase Roullier as a starter, but they need to have a backup plan in case he has another major injury, or he, retires, or he's not the same coming off that injury. It seems like they want to do that, but they need to bring in someone, whether it's like a third-round guard that can play center/guard, or a good backup free agent. They need to bring in someone in case he gets hurt, and preferably a young guy that can develop into a good starting center. And once he does that, they can move on from Chase Roullier. But that is a position that needs center depth and kind of center replacement down the line. And then guard, I believe, is another position need, both left guard and right guard. Andrew Norwell was not great. Trey Turner started off terribly, then improved over the season, but still wasn't good enough in my opinion. And if you do move Cosme inside, maybe that fixes one spot, and Chris Paul could potentially be an option at guard, but you cannot bank on that. He was active for 1 game this season, and that was the last game of the season, and he showed some promise, but you can't go into the offseason and be like, Chris Paul's our starting guard. Maybe you can be like, okay, it'll either be Chris Paul or Sam Cosme at 1 guard spot, then I'm fine. And then you either draft a guy or sign a guy in free agency, and it doesn't have to be a top tier free agent, but sign someone coming off the rookie year, their rookie contract. So someone like that's like 25, 26 years old. That would be ideal, and I think you need to try to bring in at least 2 new guys to the offensive line room, and at least 1 new starter. So let's say you draft a tackle, you have him at left tackle, and then you have you have Leno at right tackle. You get Cosme inside, Chase Roullier inside, and then a new guard at left guard, whether that's a free agent or a draft pick. They got to bring in 2 new starters, in my opinion, and let's hope they do that. But that's kind of the whole offensive line needs to get upgraded. And another offensive position is tight end. I really think that we probably need to move on from Logan Thomas. He just isn't, for being the 10th highest paid player on the team, he's not the 10th best player on this team. I think we need to move on from him. Unfortunately, fellow Hokie. Unfortunate, but move on from him. You save over $5 million, and I would consider, if you really like a tight end in the draft, would not mind. This is a good class, so would not mind drafting one. I guess they don't have a third-round pick this year, or actually they will with the compensatory pick. So either a third or fourth-round guy, or sign someone that's solid in free agency. Doesn't have to be a star, but someone who gets around 500, 600 plus yards a year, which is better than what we got from Logan Thomas this year. And then you'll see what, John Bates is solid, and we'll see what Armani Rogers and Cole Turner can do. So the tight end room, I think, does need an upgrade. And moving on from Logan Thomas is a step in the right direction. It saves you some money. You can spend some of that money to sign a veteran and then run it back with Armani, John Bates, and Cole Turner and see how you do. That room, they have a couple guys that have potential. Armani Rogers, sucks he got hurt because I wish we could have seen what he could have done the whole year. But those are kind of the positions that need on offense. Sorry for the glare there. I think the running back position is good. You got Gibson, Robinson, and maybe Patterson and Williams. And then at receiver, you're more than good there. You got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, and even De'Ami Brown and Cam Sims. So I like where they are at the receiver position, running back position, and quarterback. I guess they need to add a veteran, and you can bring back Taylor Heineke for that. That's what I would do there. Defensively, I think I think they're fine at D-line. Hopefully they bring back Deron Payne, but even if they don't, they have John Ridgeway and Fedarian Mathis who can step in and play good football. I think at corner, they could use an upgrade for sure. Is it the most important position to upgrade? No, because, Kendall Fuller, I thought, turned it around. And, Bob McKinnon was okay in the slot. But I still think they need to add help at the cornerback position because Kendall Fuller, he's still, I think, relatively young, like 27 years old, but he's on the last year of his contract. And then Benjamin St-Juste, when when he's healthy, I think he is a cornerback one in this league. He's a very good cornerback. But he struggled with ankle injuries this past year, struggled with concussions in his first year. You can't bank on him being healthy. And then Bob McCain, it is what it is with him. So I would bring in either a veteran that can compete for a starting spot so that even if he doesn't get that starting spot, if someone gets hurt, like Benjamin St-Juste, Kendall Fuller, Bob McCain, they can go in there and play good football. Our depth wasn't great this year. We had Rashad Wildgoose playing, Tariq Castro-Fields. Danny Johnson did step in and play some good football, and I think he should be on the roster in the future, but maybe not the next guy off the bench. Maybe the fifth cornerback instead of the fourth or the third that he was at times this year. And, someone like Christian Gonzalez, if they want to draft a cornerback, he is amazing out of Oregon, is one of the top corners. Him, Joey Porter, Keely Ringo also is, probably a later first-round pick, but he's an option as well. So I think cornerback or tackle is probably going to be the pick at in the first round, depending. I think that's probably going to be the pick. Those are the biggest positions of need that are realistic to take a first round. Like a guard, especially at 16, unless it's like a really, really, really good prospect, it's hard to take a guard at 16. And tight end, same thing. So I don't know. I think the cornerback or tackle is more realistic. And then I forgot I should have shown the depth chart earlier. Depth chart also, or not depth chart, linebacker is another big need. I mean, the linebackers we have under contract right now are Jamin Davis, Milo Eifler, and I think that's it. Maybe Dejon Harris. So, I mean, we don't have really. I mean, I believe Khaleke Hudson's a free agent. Cole Holcomb's a free agent. So, and even if you bring back Cole Holcomb or Khaleke Hudson, they still need to add another guy. At least a guy that is a borderline starter. A borderline starter. Like, come on. Like, this was a need all last season, this last offseason. We were talking about it for the whole time, and they did not address it. And it kind of hurt them at times. Jamin Davis missed, a game or two, and Cole Holcomb was out, and they had to play guys like John Bostic and David Mayo. So it's just unfortunate, and I think that they definitely need to try to upgrade the linebacker position. And there's guys that you can go after, free agency, the draft, just do something. And then positions that, kind of under the radar, kicker is one that you might have to look into getting a new kicker. Joey Sly kind of, was not great at the end of the year there and a little bit in the beginning. Punt returner and kick returner, I think definitely punt returner. I would try to add someone like Dax Milne. The thing with him, though, he didn't fumble a single time, which is a huge bonus. And was he explosive there? No, not at all. But he did not fumble. And after what we had to go through with Steven Sims, I just don't want to go through that again. But, if you can find someone dynamic, bring him in, DeAndre Carter, something like that. Gibson, I liked what he did a little bit as a kick returner, but at times his IQ just was not there. So that's one that they're going to have to think about. But ideally, they bring in a guy that's punt returner and kick returner. So that is it for today's video. Went over the top 5 needs for the Washington Commanders. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.